Texas Longhorn fans, I got a special interview for you today. We got five-star quarterback Dia Bell, Longhorn commitment from American Heritage High School, one of the top quarterbacks in the 2026 cycle. He's here to talk a little about his offseason, what he's trying to accomplish once he arrives in Austin, and just what type of player and person he is. Really fun interview. I hope you guys like it. And before we get going, Texas fans, you know we're here talking Longhorns recruiting all year round, bringing you guys special interviews like this. It's exciting time. So do me a favor right now and hit the subscribe button for me. All right, let's hear from Dia Bell, the five-star from American Heritage High School. Welcome in. We got a special interview. We got quarterback Dia Bell, the five-star from American Heritage High School. He's an on-3 industry number 4 ranked quarterback in the country, the 13th best player overall, and he's committed to the Texas Longhorns. Now, Bell was recently named Florida Gatorade Player of the Year in 2024, and now he's joining us here on the On3 Recruits channel. Let's bring in Dia Bell. Dia, welcome in. How you doing? And thanks for your time today.
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's get into it. So you're committed to the Texas Longhorns. At what point of your recruitment did you know it was going to be Texas? Like, was there a moment on a visit or just somewhere along the line where you're like, ooh, it's the Longhorns?
Yeah, I mean, Texas has always been up there for me. They've been talking to me since I was in 8th grade when I went out to a camp. So when I kind of made my last round of trips and I went to that elite camp and I came home and kind of looked over it with my family and my coaches, it just kind of hit me that Texas was the place where I kind of wanted to be.
All right. So Texas season comes to an end in the semifinals of the college football playoffs. What did you enjoy most about this 2024 season watching the Longhorns?
I just liked how versatile their offense was. I mean, they put a lot of stress on defenses with motions and shifts in their offense, and they gave a lot of different looks to a lot of different defenses. So I was really excited to watch that, and it shows just how creative Sark can be within the offense with the guys he has.
Who were some of the playmakers you were most excited to watch throughout the season?
Oh, I mean, there's plenty to name. The running backs, both running backs, Quintrevion Wisner and Jaden Blue, as well as Quinn Ewers, obviously, Matthew Golden, Ryan Wingo, Isaiah Bond, DJ Moore, and then the entire offensive line and all the defense. Everybody was playing really well this year, and I always look forward to watching their games.
Yeah, I did too this season. It was really fun to watch the Longhorns on offense. What's your relationship with, what is your relationship with Coach Sark like?
It's really good. I mean, every time I go visit, I get to spend time with him, talk to him about what's been going on and just catch up with him. We text and call every once in a while, but I mean, I always like to talk to him after games and talk to him about certain plays I may have liked or just questions I had about certain type of plays they called on certain downs. So, I mean, my relationship with him is great.
Mm-hmm. That's good that you have a relationship with the head coach, but we know in recruiting, you generally have a primary recruiter who's an assistant coach. So what coach on staff do you have the best relationship with?
I'd say for sure Coach Milwee and Coach Mike, because those are two guys I'll be spending most of my time with there when I get there. But I also have great relationships with guys like Coach Flood, Coach Choice, Coach Jackson, and a bunch of people in the recruiting department.
All right. So when it comes to Texas's offensive scheme, what gets you so excited to play in that?
I mean, you know, Coach Sark has coached at the NFL level and at the college level now, and the stuff that they ask their quarterbacks to do is very pro ready, and he likes to run a lot of pro offenses. He spends a lot of time with pro coaches in the off season. So what they ask their quarterbacks to do is very translative to the NFL, and that's kind of something that I look at.
All right. So as you and I sit here in this interview, the 2025 cycle is not even finished yet. That officially gets done in early February. That's when the 2026 cycle really gets going. But Dia, you're already committed. Why did you want to commit so early?
You know, I just felt like it was the right time. I mean, I was blessed to be able to visit a lot of the schools that took a lot of interest in me and I took a lot of interest in. And so after I kind of made my rounds, it just felt like locking in early was the best decision for me so I could start building a top class in the 2026 and be able to focus on high school state championship.
Yeah, and we just did a video on it. There's only 3 quarterbacks in the top 10 that still remain uncommitted. So you are with a majority of the quarterbacks having picked a school already. We're in the NIL era of college football. So who kind of helped you navigate the NIL part of your recruitment?
I mean, my dad for sure. I mean, with him being a pro athlete and going through a lot of that sort of stuff, and then on top of that, my NIL group, Team Wasserman, they have both helped me navigate this space very well. And I felt like at the end of the day, if I kept the main thing, which was being the best player I could be, all that stuff would kind of fall in place. So it was never really about the NIL and about the money, but just about my play, and everything else would come along with that.
Was there any part of your recruitment that you would say was stressful?
I mean, for sure. I mean, there was a lot of coaches reaching out. A lot of them asking me to come visit, and obviously, when I felt like it was time to make the decision, it was stressful because you got to do your deep research and do your soul searching and figure out where you feel is most comfortable and where you feel like you're developed the best at. So it was definitely stressful in that sort of time, but I feel like at the end of the day, I made the right decision.
Are there any other schools that you still want to see that you haven't yet?
Again, I'd say I visited a lot of the schools that took real interest in me, because obviously my dad was able to do that for me, which I'm blessed to be able to say. So I wouldn't say that there's like a place where I need to go visit at this time, but I'd say that I got to visit most of the schools that I felt like I needed to visit.
Okay, good. So do you play any other sports besides football?
Yeah, I played basketball these past 2 years in high school. Playing it all throughout growing up in little league and travel basketball so basketball was the other sport I really grew up playing.
Do you consistently beat your father?
No, I beat him once in a one-on-one like a year ago, but that's just because he's not allowed to post me up anymore. It's not fair. He's just the size advantage. But no, he still got it. My little brother probably has that space now. He's kind of took over the basketball in this house, so I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, which is why you're going to college to play football and not basketball.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk. What do you do on a weekend where there's no football or 7-on-7? I know that doesn't come often, but what does Diabell like to do when he's not playing football?
I like to spend a lot of time with family. My younger siblings as well, knowing they play other sports like soccer and basketball. I like to go watch their games. Sometimes there's NBA games on the weekends. We like to watch those, and just in general, spend time with family. Maybe watch a show or a movie. So that's kind of what I do.
All right. You mentioned something earlier about jumping on board with Texas early so you could commit. So, Dia, who is your most important recruit that you want to get to join you at Texas?
I mean, there are plenty of names out there around the receiving core, running back, and O-line. They know who they are. I reach out, and I like to talk to them every once in a while, make sure they know that I want them to come with me, and that Texas also wants them a lot as well. So those guys out there know who they are, and I'm gonna keep pushing for them, whether they're committed or not.
Yeah, you're an active recruiter. I know anytime you're on campus, they always surround you with the top recruits and you do your job. So
Yep.
that's great. And I'm sure Longhorn fans want to hear that. How has it been playing at American Heritage? I'm from the state of Florida. I know historically what American Heritage is. It's a powerhouse program down there in South Florida that has just cranked out players at all levels, but also you guys play a really tough schedule. So how has American Heritage prepared you for college football?
Yeah, since the eighth grade, I mean, because American Heritage is a private school, I've been able to play up as an eighth grader and be the sort of scout team quarterback, playing against Power 5 DBs ever since I've been there. And being able to have contact with those alumni that have played in the NFL are all things that I take into consideration that help me be prepared for the next level. And then on top of that, like you said, our schedules are always top in the country, and we like to play. We're not trying to hide from anybody. So, I mean, that in all that, I like to say that is definitely preparation for Power 5 football.
Yeah, a lot of legends have walked through the halls at American Heritage, and you're just another one to come through there. So, what are your goals this offseason? What are you trying to accomplish?
Such as the things like just getting bigger, stronger, and faster, just are things that you're always able to work on. On top of that, I'd like to build better relationships with the guys that just transferred into the school as of right now. And then like work harder into getting my body and everything ready so that I could try and sweep these awards next year, such as Elite 11, Max Preps Player of the Year, Gatorade Player of the Year again, hopefully national. And then obviously a Nat Moore Award down here for South Florida football players. But I felt like I would have had a better opportunity to try and win some of those if I got to play my last 4 games. But it is what it is, and I have a whole nother year to try and win it again.
All right, let's wrap it up with this. What can Texas fans expect from Dia Bell when he steps on campus in Austin?
You know, they can just expect a hard worker, a great teammate, and somebody that's going to come in and push everybody to be their best. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to bring a national championship back to the 40 acres.
All right, there you go. Dia Bell, 5-star quarterback from American Heritage High School. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon here on the On3 Recruits channel.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.